Alrighty. YTPC Padre. Let me see if I got this thingamajockey working right. Alright, looks like I'm streaming. And let me see if I can move this over here. Okay, Nick Foster says, "Hi Padre, you safe at home?" I am not. I am safe. I'm not at home. Eric Blue Collar Pipe Smoker, hey brother. Enna's dad, hi Padre. Sean Stein Schreiber is with us. Jeff the Chef Piper, long time no see, my friend. Okay, Rusty, hope you're doing okay. Thank you. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be on too long tonight. I did want to say hi to everybody, and what I'm going to hope to do is pick a time later this week, probably in the evening, where we can get together and enjoy a pipe online. I did want folks to know that I have escaped. I am safe. I thank you for all who have reached out and all the prayers. We got a lot of folks coming on. This is great. Purdue Piper, thank you, brother, for being on. Johnny Osprey in Rhode Island. Hey there. Scott at the 16th day. Nick Foster. Wonderful. Pipe and cigar smoking vets. Blessed to have you with us. So I'm in the northern part of my state, up in Shreveport, at relatives' house, and have evacuated here with a swamp dingo, and we've got some family here, so it's a safe place to be. If you've had the radio or television news on, you know that my part of the world is not doing so well right now. We had Hurricane Ida come through. It has devastated a huge portion of Louisiana. It was not a direct hit in the New Orleans area, but as it was coming up, it jogged just enough eastward where we got stronger than expected or forecasted winds and such, and there is a great deal of damage. I have a neighbor who stayed behind, who took a picture of my house, which the roof is in pretty bad shape, but it's still there. The fence, not so much. My shed is questionable. All things considered, I think I'm okay. I've got somebody who stayed behind who's going to try and get out to the church tomorrow to check on that property, although unofficially we've heard that everything looks okay there. I say try to get out because the roads right now are fairly impassable, just with trees down, power lines down, power poles down, debris, and it's just a mess. So here I am, and I'm glad to see that I've got this equipment that I grabbed with me at the last moment when I was leaving, and it's working, which means I'll probably be able to stream midday prayer tomorrow for church. And I'd like to come back on later in the week and spend some time with you guys and just have a chance to just decompress, not talk about anything related to this storm. As you can imagine, it's a little tiresome. I'm looking this way because I'm just trying to see. Ghost Cobb is with us. Thank you, my brother, for being here. And greetings back to you in Gettysburg. I do hope Macy is doing well. I haven't seen any posts with Macy and if she's still in her collar or not. I'm not in my collar today, so if Macy's not, good for her too. That's Ghost Cop's dog. Thank you for the prayers, Pipe and Cigar Smoking Vets. Much appreciated. Good to see you, Smoking Buddy Matt. Thank you for being online today. Nick Foster, please let your friends know, start a FEMA claim now, even before they go home. Yes. It has been a little while, going back to 2005, when many of us went through this with Hurricane Katrina. And unfortunately, some of those processes and procedures are forever embedded in our heads. Nick Foster, this is showing that your message is not going to be shown. Work in disaster recovery if anyone has any questions. Okay, so you have put your email address in that, and I think that's why YouTube didn't let it go forward. I can press a button. Please let me know if it's all right for me to show that, Nick Foster. If I hit show, then it's going to be there for forever with your email address and such. I didn't know if you wanted that private or not, so I will wait a moment to hear from you. Oh, Macy's doing well. Glad to hear that, Ghost Cobb. Hillbilly Jack, so nice to have you on board with us tonight, and thank you. I'm glad to be doing well. Tired, just, It's what should have taken about 6 hours, took about 9.5 hours to get here, and that was after a full day's work on Friday, I think. I'm losing track of days. I think today's Monday. And then it's just emotionally exhausting to watch this and then to try and find parishioners. Our phone service is very spotty on the cell phones. Text messages are working a little better, but also spotty. It's really a mess. Let's see. Totally okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit show. And so Nick's earlier comment is that he works in disaster recovery, and so if there's anybody out there, because I know I've got some other friends on the Gulf Coast who are part of the YTPC and watch these streams. If you're needing something, Nick Foster has very graciously and generously given some contact information out in the chat, and seems like he knows what he's talking about on these matters. Native of Louisiana, but am living in Georgia. Well, you were in a safer place, and for goodness sake, Nick, I hope you didn't become a Falcons fan. Oh, that would be horrible. That's worse than a storm. Again, folks, I'm not going to be on for too long. Number one, it's a little hot and humid tonight. Actually, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet either. So I was coming out with the swamp dingo so she could take care of business, and she's a trip. So I figured I was going to go ahead and play with this equipment, and if I can get everything working okay, then I'd be able to live stream tomorrow for midday prayer like I normally do on Tuesday anyway for church, and it looks like we're good. Oh, good. Nick Foster says, "Who dat?" I'm glad to hear that. Amen. All right. Folks, just... keep us in prayer. There was really horrible stuff happening last night and earlier today. I'm in what's called Jefferson Parish, which is a suburb of Orleans Parish, which is where the city of New Orleans is. And Jefferson Parish goes all the way down to the coastline, and there's an area down there called Jean Lafitte, named for the pirate or the privateer. And in the city of Lafitte, there was a unexpected levee topping that led to a levee failure yesterday evening that trapped somewhere between 150 and 500 people. They didn't have an exact number. These people had to immediately run up into the attics of their house because the water rose that quickly. And they couldn't get out to them last night because the winds were still too bad and it was dark. There was no power. And so they were doing rescues today. So that's an area that really needs to be prayed for. Officially in Louisiana, there are 2 confirmed deaths at this point. The governor sounded pretty certain that number is going to rise. And so that's really unfortunate. And with these things, the days after the disaster is often some of the deadliest. It's when people playing with generators end up getting themselves in trouble with carbon monoxide. It's when people fall off of ladders. It's when people get electrocuted by down power lines. So it's really, it's just a dangerous situation. Specifically where I live in Jefferson Parish, they're asking us not to return at this point. 98% of that, we don't have counties, we have parishes. 98% of our parishes without power, and where I live on the East Bank is without water. There's zero water, and what was coming out for water was not considered potable. They were having a boil water advisory, but apparently what has happened is a number of trees that came down uprooted, and as they did, they they broke water mains, and that has totally messed up the water pressure for our area. So all of that's got to get fixed before we can really move people back in there to start fixing things up and living again. So it, could be a couple days, could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months. I mean, you just don't know with these things. It all depends on how much damage has really been done, the type of damage that's been done, and how long it is before the folks who are doing what they do can get done what they can get done, particularly with the linemen, and God bless them. They're out there now, surveying and trying to get power back up and such. The good news, people are comparing this to Hurricane Katrina. This is not the kind of flood event, at least in our area and in New Orleans, that Hurricane Katrina was. And I'm almost hesitant to say that because it was 24 hours after Hurricane Katrina before the levees broke and flooded New Orleans. So, but here we are. We're 24 hours out. Knock on something. And hey, Jazzy girl. And it is what it is. But any rumors of me not being around, they're not true. I'm here. I'm just somewhere else. I'm up in the northern part of the state in Shreveport. Actually, I'm in what's called Houghton, which is right outside of Bossier City. I wish I could tell you exactly where all that is. I don't know this part of the state all that well. I know when I'm at Shreveport, I am not far from Dallas. That gives you an idea. Ron, thank you. Glad to see that you're with us today, too. Thanks. Hey, Michael Fisher, thanks for coming on. Just so blessed to see so many folks show up on this very impromptu YouTube Live. Again, we're approaching 7 o'clock here, my time. Today is Monday. I'm going to try and do something one evening this week. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I think Eddie Gray does Wednesday Night Live. I think Donald Hughes has a Thursday Night Live. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a message over to Phil at Briar Report and see if he might be able to let me know what would be a good time slot where I'm again, not stepping on anybody else's toes. There are people who do regular live shows, and I respect the heck out of them for that. I don't, and I don't want to unnecessarily compete with anybody and make any kind of waves with that either. Chris Kahn, thank you, sir. Good to be seen. Abe, thank you for the prayer hands. Appreciate that. JMZ56, always good to see you on board with us too. And yeah, glad to be okay. I'll promise you that. It's good to be safe, and a lot of stories I probably could share at some point. Folks, I'm just exhausted, and physically and sort of psychologically, emotionally, and so we'll save those for another time. But anyway, if you're the praying type, keep praying for us down here. We have a long road ahead of us for recovery, and these things, are not quick. And there's that old saying, what's the scariest sentence in the English language? And it is, we're from the government and we're here to help. So pray for us in dealing with FEMA and the government and whatever else. And it's good to know we got Nick Foster advocating for us. And so, gonna take it easy, Nick. Definitely. I'm going to have to, in fact, I might find a way to have a little adult beverage tonight. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm used to going to Walmart or a grocery store. You can buy any kind of booze you want. Up here, you got to go to a liquor store. It's crazy, and I know probably the rest of the country's like that. But again, in New Orleans, we are not I don't want to say uptight, but we're not uptight. We sell that stuff anywhere. So I got to figure that part out. You recommend? Abe is asking, do you recommend a local charity you can direct me to so I can make a donation to ground level needs? Hey, Abe, I would love to hook you up if you want to do that with. It's called the Anglican Relief and Development Fund, which is what my denomination works through. I just don't have any real information on off the top of my head on what that is, what the web address for that would be and such. But they will be on ground and doing lots of great work, not just for my church and but just doing good work. So I'll try and get some more information on that, and I'll try and have that with me later in the week when I do a live, if anybody wants to help out with that. All right, Mr. Tolson, good to see you. Thank you for the prayers. Much appreciated. All right, 3 minutes after 7, and the crickets are cricketing, or whatever those critters are, up here in northern Louisiana, making the noises they make. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. My love to each of you. Appreciate you coming on and checking in tonight. And again, just keep us in your prayers. And I will try and get a notice out on my Twitter, which is twitter.com/Padre Piper. And if you're a subscriber, you'll probably get a notification if I set up a live for later in the week. And I'm looking to do that and looking to have some time with you guys. So until then, this is Padre wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.